Hi, everybody. Ashley C. Ford here with the stars of A Black Lady Sketch Show on HBO. And yes, they are all stars. I'm so excited to be able to talk to them today about the second season. I got to watch the first 6 episodes, could not stop laughing. So I just have a few questions. We're going to jump right into it. I think people will get this later when they get to see the show. But until then, I just want to know, what feels as good as your knees and titties being covered by bath water at the same time?
All these spoilers. She's giving away all the jokes.
Is that a spoiler?
Yes, it's a joke in the sketch.
I feel like
we have to talk about the process. We have to talk about oh God. All right, I'll talk about that. It is a great joke. It's a great joke in the premiere episode. And you know, yeah. I think it's every woman's dream to be in a bathtub so luxurious and so deep that your knees and your titties are underwater at the same time. Truly, hashtag goals. And Ashley, who wrote that joke?
I did.
I thought
I remember that I did. One, because that is a true goal of mine, to make enough money for that to be possible. And because I remember Oprah showed her bathtub, which is like molded to her body in the bottom. And I was like, that's money.
I was really hoping that had something to do with it. I had no idea, but I was hoping that had something to do with it, because I also know the story of Oprah being so obsessed specifically with baths that she had one molded to her body. Is that a goal for everybody now? Because that is certainly a goal for me.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, that is luxury at its finest. Absolutely.
One of the things that I really like about the show this season is that, and you know, honestly, the show.
I'm so nervous what you're about to say.
Don't worry about it. I got you. Is that these episodes always end up giving me good ideas for what would be a Black woman specific new business, like a business that was just for Black women.
Okay.
And I'm wondering if you could think of one thing that you were like, there's a product or there is like a group or something that if I could just get all Black women together to like have this thing, I know I could get the bag. I know that that's the thing. Do you have those business
the sketch show, right? I was like, sketch comedy is very white and very male, and I need to get all Black women together, and look what happened. So I don't know. What do y'all think?
Yeah. How about you, Gabrielle?
That's different for our.
No, she was saying that this season gave her some ideas for Black-owned businesses or Black women businesses. If you could have a business that was all Black women, what would you make it?
It will be Bailiff's Beauty hair color, okay? Because you see the bailiff from Kiki K. She's the president of the color. I mean, it's finger waves, but it's different, you know?
Listen, I feel like she definitely does do her own hair. She does hair on the side.
Yes, she absolutely does hair on the side.
Oh, that's good.
So
Black women hair dye. Black women, like a hair dye line just for Black women, and like
coloring line just for Black women.
Oh, nice. That would be nice. I might experiment even more if they had it specifically for Black women.
Right?
I don't really see myself, because right now they got it with like, and I see on the can and I'm like, she don't look like
no.
I don't know if this is gonna work out.
No.
One of the things I really like that you guys got into last season that just cracked me up, and Ashley, this was specifically your character, the spy whose invisibility, Trinity, that deeply works in her favor. Can you talk to me a little bit about, if you could decide, would you choose invisibility or hypervisibility?
Oh.
Well,
she is hyper visible now, so.
You don't really have a choice, but in Trinity's case.
It's a really interesting question, because I feel like that duality is what Black women deal with all the time. Like, on the one hand, you may feel invisible, not seen as, you know, desirable dating partner or whatever. And on the other hand, if you walk into the grocery store, you are hyper visible. They're watching you, thinking you may want to steal something. So we're living that duality all the time. And the idea behind Trinity is that I do sometimes find power in that invisibility. I love nothing more than to be underestimated, please underestimate me, because I love that moment. And it happens in meetings all the time in the industry where people are like, oh, okay, somebody told me to meet with this girl. It won't take me more than 5 minutes to where that person is like, quick, like, can we quick keep her here? Oh my God. And I love that moment of watching someone realize that they've underestimated. And so I have made invisibility my superpower in real life. And that's what inspired the Trinity character. But I think that's something that duality is something that every Black woman can relate to.
And she can talk a little bit about Trinity's journey in season 2 if she wants. That's fine.
Yeah, we will see Trinity again, which I know people have been asking. You see like a little piece of her in the trailer, and I'm like, I don't know
my ass.
But what's very cool about this show that I think Sketch doesn't always get to do is her story actually moves forward. Like, I feel like a lot of times on Sketch, you see sketches getting reiterated in a second or third sketch, but not necessarily moving story forward. And I think we have an audience that like pays such close attention to the sketches that we can actually move story forward in a sketch a year after you watch the last sketch. So I think people will really like season 2 in general and where Trinity goes.
And I think too, the reactions that we get, maybe Lauren, you can talk about this a little bit, the reactions we get from that character and people who approach us, even as we're making the show behind the scenes, are some of the most really real, like personal reactions. You know, Lauren, we've talked about this a bit, right?
Yeah, I think it's really that character Trinity. It's a character that I see a lot of my own experiences in. And so many people on the set, as Robin said, have those same conversations with us. They're like, I have been in this situation before. And I'm like, how could you possibly have been in this situation about this like made up spy in on the sketch show? But it really is so true. And it isn't unique to Black women. It's specific to Black women. But I think that there are so many ways in which people can see themselves as being underestimated, overlooked, forgotten. And also, you know, like Ashley talked about, but also being hyper visible at the same time, and sometimes the worst ways. And so it's really fun to lean, you know, really press the gas on that concept and blow it out in this very absurd, very funny, stylized way.
It's also one of the things. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think there's an assumption in the industry that if something is starring an other, like a Black woman, that it needs a lot of explanation and you have to, people may not be able to relate to that character. The number of white men who have come up to me and been like, Trinity is me, I'm Trinity. And it's like, it's surprising, but it's also not, because if you are very, very specific about your experience, someone else has had it.
That's
and
right.
So it's that one in particular. Every person from every walk of life have told me they relate to that character, which was 100% based on my real personal life.
Right, you're like, no, I relate. Okay, you don't relate, I relate.
Yeah, there's an argument. There's an argument of who's more like Trinity. You know, it's like when I first read the sketch, I was like, this is me, I am she. You know, it's such brilliant writing, because like you said, it taps on the head of everybody's experience in life, varying degrees, you know, but it is what it is. It's just so beautifully written.
Well, speaking of Oprah, she said the only thing people want to know is, do you see me? But you know, I think
come on with this. No, it's Super Sunday. Come on.
Well, I think that's the great thing about the writers on their show. Like Ashley wrote in the Invisible Spy series so brilliantly, but she also wrote like The Basic Ball in season 1, right? And she taps into these universal truths in a way like nobody else I know. And she's able to really dig into these moments that feel, like she said, very, very specific. However, they're insanely relatable. I can't tell you how much of us felt like Eeyore and Dior and awkward in the body. And, you know, your boss doesn't know you have eyebrows and, you know, all these things from The Basic Ball in season 1, all these phrases people now say back to me all the time, and back to all of us all the time, especially after this pandemic, of people feeling like they're not at their best, like anxiety is getting the best of them. They're having trouble sleeping. They're not feeling comfortable in their bodies, like all of that. And that was just a parody of Pose, right? But everything we do has layers, right? And everything we do has other meanings than allegorical meanings. You can't have all of these Black women making a sketch show that has to be evergreen, right? We have to compete with the likes of SNL and all these shows that are coming in week by week. And we make ours 9 months out, right? So we have to know that in 9 months or in 9 years, this is still going to be relevant, relatable, and authentic. So I think that's one of the joys about having writer performers in the cast, but it's also the joys about all our performers. Gabrielle is so astute. When you give her a script, first of all, her scene study work is unbelievable. The great thing about their show is not only is everybody a brilliant comedian, but they're really artists. And they're really people who take a script, break it down, create a 3-dimensional character beyond what the writers have already done so brilliantly. And then when we get on set, the improv, right? The improv is always in story, in character, and it just adds and adds and adds. You take brilliant scripts by writers, brilliant acting by these amazing artists, and then improv on top of that in story. That's season 2. Like, I feel like we're clicking on all cylinders, whatever that phrase is. I'm sure that's not it.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
Yeah. Okay. In season 2, that I feel like in season 1, maybe we were still figuring out in some parts. And I think season 1 was great. Season 1 was nominated for 3 Emmys. Like, we obviously did some things right. But I think season 2, I mean, you've seen it. Like, I think season 2
yes, I have.
elevates.
Yeah, it's kicking ass. It's kicking ass. For real, for real. I very, very much enjoyed myself watching it. Some laugh out loud. I watched all 6. Yeah, I couldn't. Well, I was like, I'm going to watch one a day and like take notes and stuff. No, baby, it didn't work like that. I watched all 6 at the same time. I had to. And I wonder, that's one of the things that I've been thinking about a lot is that this show has created so much derivative art. Like, because, the internet will take what you put out and they will just stretch it and see how far they can take the joke. And it's been so interesting seeing some of the things that have come from a Black lady sketch show. Like, I've seen somebody, my mom used to work at as a confinement officer for the sheriff's department. Oh, wow. And they posted a picture on Facebook, some of her former coworkers, because they had what was essentially a Black lady courtroom. They had like all Black ladies.
We've seen that a lot. Black lady, we've seen Black lady ER, Black lady OBGYN, yes. Black lady, all those sorts of things. It's really fun.
So, and what's interesting is that, taking that picture in that moment was already a thing. We know that when you find yourself in that situation, you take the picture. But now it's related. People think about this show, they think about that sketch when it happens. How does that feel for you guys watching the way this work goes out into the world and then comes back to you?
Do you remember what I said about the way that Ashley Nicole Black writes sketches in these relatable ways that makes people, that's also her sketch. Okay? That's what she does. That's what she does. All right. Like, she is giving you those moments that would be so surreal and so massive in your real life. Like, all of us were like, this is genius. She also wrote the Patti LaBelle sketch. Okay. Can we talk about it? Like, she brings ideas in and she says, her first day, she goes, okay, so Patti LaBelle? And we're like, yes. And she goes, oh, sorry, I forgot I was in a room full of Black women. So anyway, Patti LaBelle always shows up when I get broken up with. And we had to get over that, right? In first season, we had to get over this, like, oh, right, I don't have to explain my Blackness, right? So, but everything she writes is that moment. It's that moment that captures the supreme Blackness connection, moment for us all so beautifully. And this season, she actually gets to be in her own sketch series in the sequel to Black Lady Courtroom, to Courtroom Kiki. So we're excited to see her in that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, Ash, you want to weigh in on that? I just want to give you props.
Thank you. I'm going to put those in my pocket. Save them for a rainy day. That sketch in particular, I just love that little moment when you enter a space and see another Black woman. And sometimes you have to like be quiet about it, but you kind of coyly look across the room, be like, hey sis, or even on the phone when you call the office or whatever, and you can hear that you're talking to another Black person on the phone. And I just wanted to capture that feeling because that's an everyday feeling that we all have. Such a small moment, just that little moment of recognition. The funniest thing to me is like on the subway when a little kid is acting up and the only 2 Black women on the subway get each other in the eye, like, okay, we all see little Johnny over there, right? And so to me, what I love about writing sketches, like you take that little moment that you want to explore and how big can we blow it up? Yeah. And so structurally that sketch is them having that moment over and over again and it getting bigger each time because another person came into the room. And I remember pitching it and trying to explain, I want to create that feeling so the audience is feeling it build with them. Never could I have imagined the way the audience would actually respond to it.
I couldn't. I was like, this sketch is too simple. Till it aired, I was like, this sketch is too simple. It can't be that simple, right? It can't be that simple. I was trying to like, what layers can we add? And I was like, I loved the sketch, but I was like, people aren't really gonna like, it's just too simple. It's too simple. And then it just blew up. And I was like, okay, like we knew it had power. That's why it made it to the show, right? We knew it had the power, but I was scared that maybe people wouldn't get what we were trying to do or something. I don't know what, but I eat all my words. I mean, at least I still put it on the show. I mean, I don't know why. but yeah, it was like, that was the thing. That's the difference between season 1 and season 2 to me, right? So in season 1, I'm like, Black Lady Sketch Show. I'm not sure. Is Get the Belt too violent? Like, is this? Are they going to get this? And I think we tried things that I think in season 2, we knew would or would not fly, right? So we knew some things got a little too esoteric or a little too conceptual, maybe without the hard jokes that some people maybe would have wanted, even though we loved every sketch and we stand by everything. I think it was, especially rewriting when we got back into the pandemic, some of the sketches, it was like, okay, we need to give people the candy, right? And there's not enough like slices of pie or candy that we can give people. It's like, I think in season 1, we were scared if things were too sweet. We had to kind of like level it out, but it was like, no, you're getting nothing but dessert all season 2, like all dessert. You will have cavities after you leave season 2. It is just all like, dessert, because we wanted people to be able to take that ride. And it's very telling that everyone we're talking to is saying, I watched all 6 episodes in one sitting. All of them. And they went by so
fast. Up like a pack of red vines.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, I did. And I do it again. Okay. So write that down. While you were talking about the sketches, one of the things that I always wonder, especially with something like this, is how often a sketch you swore was funny, you write it down, and suddenly you're like, what was my brain thinking?
All the time, but they never make it to air. But all the time. Yeah, all the time. All the time. I have been trying to listen.
You're trying to make something work?
Yes, I have been trying to make, they already know what the bits are. And I'm not going to say them because I'm still holding out hope that they're going to work. There are at least 2 or 3 bits that I pitch every day. And the writers are like, shut up. But I'm like, I'm going to make that work. That character is funny. I'm telling you, I'm going to make it work. And you all, they're laughing because they know what they are. And Gabrielle's and she ain't even in the writer's room yet. But yeah, definitely. We write bad shit all the time. Of course we do.
Yeah. And we also just write so much. Like you're not, when you're watching the season, you're not watching the only sketches that we wrote by even a long
shot. Not even the only sketches we shot.
Exactly. Like, we write so much, and our writers are they're operating at such a high level of sketch comedy writing that they're like, okay, I got you. And often I would say that there are some things where it's like, they're spectacularly like don't fly. And that is funny and fun in itself, in our internal discussions.
You need to tell her about the flamingo sketch, because that sketch we will never make because it was way too expensive. So you should definitely tell her about it.
I love that sketch. I am still writing for that sketch.
Tell me about it.
Never mind.
But no, it's unshootable, but I love it.
Totally unshootable.
Tell it, because it's ridiculous.
It is a sketch about a woman who basically fell asleep on one of those huge Instagram floats, like at a party, and then wakes up in the middle of
the flamingo donut.
Falls asleep on a flamingo float. She's like wearing a flower crown, and she wakes up and she's in the middle of the sea. Like, oh shit, what happened? She like castaways her way back to shore. She's like starving. She's dehydrated. She's like making like, trying to build flares and all this stuff, trying to find help. And she cannot find any help.
You're skipping my favorite line. Why are you skipping my favorite? She says to the flamingo, "Mingo, sis, what are we gonna do?" What? She starts talking to it like Wilson. And she's like, "Mingo, sis, what are we gonna do? I don't even know how to swim." And when she said "Mingo, sis," It was just so stupid. Okay, and then the sketch goes really off the rails.
Yeah, and basically the culmination of the sketch is that she finally like finds an oasis. She sees like the one livable, inhabitable place on this island. She's been there for days and days. She's withered away, and she opens the door, and it's a surprise party. Her best friend just went to all this trouble to like throw her an epic surprise party, and it's just
her ass lost at sea.
Yes,
damn near died, and then she's like, "Perfect, right on time, surprise."
Okay, but shoot it anyway. I don't understand.
We don't own the ocean. I don't know how we would shoot it.
We got lakes in LA, you know, got a little lake. I got a big pool.
we gonna have to shoot it in the pool. And the other thing is, none of us are that strong as swimmers. We was like, bitch, who's gonna shoot this? Who is shooting this?
I can float.
So it's Gabrielle. We already got the casting.
Perfect. Sis, what are we gonna do? It makes me laugh. We cried till we laughed in the room. I mean, we laughed until we cried.
But I will say, like, some sketches that I have cried the hardest laughing at have not ended up on this show.
No, absolutely.
And it's so people don't even know some of the stuff.
Well, stuff such as it's producible. I know it's HBO, but we don't have a Game of Thrones budget. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Not yet.
Not yet. Amen. We receive.
Not yet. Okay, we're going to speak that into existence.
Because the books that we get, like our script books are like this big.
300 pages.
They're like really thick. And then eventually they might get down to like that. But I just am amazed how much they write. Like the amount of content is just ridiculous. And for every sketch to be funny or for every sketch to be so much different than the other, that kind of just blows my mind.
Nothing is the same. Nothing is the same. That's one of the that's why you can sit there and go through 6 episodes, because you know that it's going to be some callbacks. It's going to be some continuance. I can say that, right? Can I say that?
Yeah.
Okay. It's going to be some continuance, but it's going to be fresh. So one of the things that I also loved about this season is, once again, with the guest stars, y'all are killing it. I'm not going to expose
well,
no
if
names.
you're in the trailer, no, it's okay. We can talk about a lot of them because a lot are in the trailer. I'll give you the list and then you can ask. Okay, so
okay.
We can talk about, we can't always talk about their sketches, but we can talk about Gabrielle Union. We can talk about Jesse Williams. We can talk about Miguel. We can talk about Omarion. We can talk about Sky Jackson. We can talk about Aisha Curry, Wunmi Masaku. Kim Wayans, Kim Cole, Lance Gross, Laz Alonso. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Okay, great. So let's play a game. One of the things that, we've seen over the past few years is a lot more celebrity politicians. And I want to play a game called Elect, Marry, Kill.
Oh.
With 3 of your guest stars.
Okay. This is good.
So we're gonna do Kim Wayans.
Okay.
We're gonna do Jesse Williams.
Okay.
And we're going to do Miguel.
Easy. I got mine.
Ooh.
I'm electing Jesse Williams. I'm marrying Kim Wayans, and I'm killing Miguel. Sorry.
Dang.
And I love him. He was just the one that's left. I don't want to sing in president, and he's already married. So there we go.
Jesse Williams would be a great elected official.
Yes, he would.
Agreed.
And Kim Wayans is the love of my life. So you're goddamn right. I'm marrying Kim Wayans.
Literally, that's the first answer I had, was marrying Kim.
Yeah.
I would marry Jesse. Y'all missing out.
Wait, what'd you say? You're marrying Jesse?
I'm marrying Jesse. Have you looked at him lately? Come on now. I mean, Kim is an icon, but
I want to laugh every day. I'm marrying Kim. Not that Jesse's not funny. We'll see. Jesse's very funny, but yeah. Okay, so who else?
Ashley, like you said, he would make a good politician. So Jesse would make a good politician, like you said.
Well, okay, so who are your 3, Ashley?
I'm marrying Jesse, and that does kind of mess up the rest of the choices, but that's just, it is what it is. Then I'll probably have to elect Kim and kill poor Miguel, who I
Poor
love so
Miguel.
much. But I don't think he wants to be an official. I don't think he wants to run
I don't think
shit.
he does either. Okay, Gab.
That's probably true.
I think I matched with yours, Robin, but poor
Yeah, that's because you smart. You know what I'm saying?
Poor Miguel's been murdered 3 times already.
You'll be all right.
Okay, one more question.
Wait, I gotta hear
Lauren.
Lauren's. Lauren's gotta weigh in.
I am going to choose to elect Jesse, marry Kim.
Wow.
And I'm also going to kill Miguel, but only because he already exists musically on an ethereal plane. So I think that killing his physical body would change nothing.
It would never stop him. You're such a Libra. I love it.
He would just haunt us with tunes.
Ghost Miguel, his Ghost album was way better than his Living album.
So.
They were fantastic.
I feel like
Anyway, and also let me just say, God, please do not let that happen. I don't want to ever talk about Miguel dying in any other context, but okay, all right.
Never. But it seems like Jesse won the election. It seems he won the election in Ashley's heart. So that's the way it's going to work out. Last question. I like to bring Black lady shows together. So I want to ask everybody, could you tell me the reason why you would have to go to the red table with the Smith family?
Oh, that's good.
That is a brilliant question. That is a brilliant question.
I know exactly why I would end up at the red table.
What brings you to the red table, Ashley?
I run my mouth. I run my mouth too much. And one day I'm gonna say the wrong thing to the wrong person, and I'm gonna be talking to Gam at the red table.
Not true. That is not true. Everybody loves Ashley. It's a new sitcom coming out on CBS. Gabrielle, what would take you to the red table?
I mean, one of my biggest issues is I'm just a germaphobe, like an intense, psychotic level of germophobia. So the pandemic was quite trying for me. And just the way, just even checking the mail, like, it's like, girl, like my mom gets mad and she's like, so is it going to be the virus or is Lysol going to take you out because you're doing the most? So like me getting in the car if I'm around people, especially if I cross by without a mask or if I have to be like out in the space in the world, I'm already in like 3 masks with the shield, but the shield is a protection, not only from fluids, from the nasty, disgusting germs, but my can of Lysol. So when I get in, I'm like, shh. And I spray my entire self down just to brush my shoulders off the germs. And then I roll up the window, what's it called? The sunroof. And then I drive on the highway to let it air out. So it's like levels and layers. I am
concerned about these chemicals.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what Jada would say.
Yes. Stop doing that as much.
Okay. What y'all don't know is that Gabrielle got all 3 of the vaccines, just to be sure.
It was like,
I got one here, and then one in my ass.
Yeah. All right, Lauren, what's bringing you to the red table?
I'm absolutely racing toward the red table for not minding my own business. And simply because I couldn't keep my mouth shut, I couldn't not get involved. I absolutely overstepped, and that shall be my downfall.
I can't pick just one thing. Y'all tell me, why am I going to the red table? For being too bossy? I don't know. Being annoying? I have no idea. Many things.
Are you bossy?
Oh, you are, Robin, like the ultimate cheerleader. You are such a hype woman. I could see you ending up at the red table because you were just like hyping until you went too far.
I hyped the wrong person and then I got caught up in the drama. Oh yeah. I could see me getting in trouble by hype association. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like standing for someone who got canceled. Yeah, that's true. Especially if it's somebody I love, like God forbid one of y'all somehow gets canceled. I'll be like, no, they did not. You are not gonna. They'd be like, Robin, you can't continue to support Lauren. Didn't you hear what she did? And I'm like, I don't care.
But she killed Miguel.
She killed Miguel.
She killed Miguel.
Poor Miguel. Why'd you do it, Lauren? Oh my
and
God.
I'm coming to the red table for spoiling part of the second season.
Yes, you are.
The Black Lady Sketch Show.
But you know what?
It's gonna rake you over the coals.
I know Emmy is gonna come for you. But you know what, Ashley, I have to thank you so much for doing this. We were so honored that you chose to do this. And I will tell you, your excitement about season 2 is so encouraging to us because we make it for you. You know, like we make it for you. That. So yeah, I'm so glad. And like, it means everything to us. You know, it's love from the TV Academy, love from the Emmys, love from all these awards, love from strangers, but from Black women, especially smart, progressive, forward-moving Black women who are doing such great work like you're doing. It means the most to us because we want y'all to feel seen, but we also want to feel seen, right? This is a very selfish endeavor in some ways for us. We get to be in this mecca, in this dream place, creating art that no one else can make. And, you know, the reason why we called it a Black Lady Sketch Show instead of the is because we just hoped it would be one of many, right? And so we haven't quite seen that yet, but we know some things are on the way. And we want everyone to be able to experience the unfettered joy that we get to, even in the midst of a pandemic. I mean, that shows how committed people are to making this show, that they came and risked everything, and we kept everybody safe, thank God, but they risked everything to come make people laugh. So thank you for spreading the word, and thank you for gassing us up, and we receive it. And season 2, I'm telling you, once Ashley and Gabrielle finally get to see it, they're going to be impressed too.
Listen, I'm DMing Ashley after this. I have questions.
Don't ask her nothing.
I got you.
Don't
I got you.
block her.
I'm gonna tell you everything. Yeah.
Well, she's in everything, so she knows, but they just haven't seen it.
She knows. She knows. Thank y'all so much for this. Once again, Robin, one more time. When can people watch?
Fridays at 11 p.m., premiering April 23rd this Friday on HBO and on HBO Max. You can choose any platform you like. So nice, they let us air twice. So yeah, so we're so excited. We have 6 episodes. We'll be airing 6 Fridays at 11 p.m. on HBO and HBO Max starting April 23rd. And we cannot wait. We hope everybody live tweets with us. We hope everybody enjoys and shares the YouTube sketches we put out the next day. You know, we encourage everybody to watch it though on the HBO platforms, because if you only watch it on YouTube, you are missing 90% of the show. And and as Ashley knows, you do not want to miss a second of this.
Not a second. Not a second. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you for your time. Thank you for this work. I'm a Black woman, and I've loved laughing my whole life. I come from a funny family, and this is really one of the first times I've seen this humor not just end up out there, but feel like it was sent out there and made for me. So thank y'all for that. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I think that's it.
Yay!
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.